What's up guys, I'm Sean. My rock sliders finally came in, so I got rid of my side steps and I'm installing real rock sliders. And the idea is that when I go off-roading, these will give me some extra protection under my door panels and will allow me to slide over rocks. So I picked this up from a local company called Bay Area Meta Fab, and right now this is just raw steel. I got some local quotes to powder coat them, but they range from $450 to $650. So I'm going to spray paint them myself. And the benefit of that is that when I go off-roading and scratch them up, then I can just do the touch-up paint myself as well. Before I painted my rock sliders, I cleaned it with acetone. And then I sprayed it with clean metal primer. I used 3 cans, about 1.5 cans per rock slider. I'm going to paint it satin protective enamel, and I got 6 cans of these, so I'm going to use about 3 cans per rock slider. Here are the rock sliders fully painted. I gave it about 3 days to fully dry. It's not perfect, but I'm okay with it. At least it'll do the job to minimize and hopefully prevent rusting. Alright, let's see how much this rock slider weighs. So it's about 65 pounds. 65 pounds each. Alright, these sliders came with a bag of hardware. So the hardware kit comes with a pair of this and a pair of this. You don't see the other ones because they're drying, but they were raw steel, so I painted them. So this long thing slides in between the frame and kind of mounts on the front part of the rock sliders, and this small piece mounts right here, and you put into the cross member right over here. So for now I just removed the 2 12mm nuts to loosen the, I guess, this little module behind the frame. I loosened the bolt right there, and I pushed some of the clips away just to let this area be clean for the install. And there's some plastic little caps that I popped off right here and right here. This small piece, I'm going to slide it in here, and just to get it ready, play around with it a little bit to line it up. I loosened 2 bolts for the brake lines, and this cap that was in here, pulled it out. And now this piece slides in here to be mounted to the rock slider. I'm going to reinstall the 14mm factory bolt that was underneath the frame that I removed. This should help hold it up for a second. There's the factory 14mm that I was talking about. Alright, the hardware has been snugged up. I need to reconnect the module right there. But let me show you what I did underneath. The bolts, I went on the middle of the frame, I went inside out because I don't want the stud to interfere with the brake hard lines. So I went inside out on the middle of the frame. On this side, I went inside out as well. And back in there, I went inside out as well. Between the gas tank and the frame, you basically have to squeeze your arm all the way. As I was saying, between the gas tank and the frame, I stuck my arm through there so I can get to the nut for this bolt. And then so I can get to the head of that bolt, because this bolt is inside out. Inside out. The one right there is inside out. And the rest is pretty much standard. Here's the backside put back together. I reinstalled the bolts for the brake hard line. Got a little plastic piece back there. The module. And here's how the hardware looks on the outside. The hardware there. That's factory, bolts right up. The factory module, there's a hole for that, as well as a hole for a little plastic little clip thing. And the rock sliders already has pre-cut holes for the existing frame rivets right here and right there. Yeah, so this thing bolts up perfectly and no drilling required. Pretty simple, straightforward install. Now I just have to do the same for the other side. Now I'm on the passenger side. I think the steps should be pretty straightforward. I just have to undo this module and then put the rock slider on and then reinstall the module. Alright guys, the passenger side is installed. It was actually a lot easier than the driver's side because you don't have to deal with the brake hard lines or the gas tank in the way. So it's really easy to get to the bolt and nuts. For this piece right here, I did have to trim it just a little bit. I removed a little piece from this corner right here, so therefore it could slide right in there. Nice and easy. Here's the inside shot of the passenger side. Again, as I mentioned, the brake hard lines are not on this side and the gas tank is not on this side. So it's really easy to get to these bolts. Right here as well. And the one behind this thing. So the passenger side was way easier than the driver's side. And the driver's side actually wasn't bad either. Right, here's the hardware installed. There's a bunch of extra hardware that wasn't needed, so I'm just going to save this for the future. Alright guys, everything done. Bay Area Meta Fab rock sliders installed on my 2021 Toyota Tacoma. The installation was very straightforward and very easy to do. So here's how it looks with a slight kick out. So now I'm going to have more protection when I go off-roading. Now my kids are going to have a step that they can use when they get into the truck. And my wife's going to have an area to step on as well. So I chose the Bay Area Meta Fab rock sliders because they're local to me, so I saved about $200 because I picked it up instead of shipped it. I also saved about $200 painting it myself instead of getting it powder coated. If I can do it all over again, I would just have them powder coat it for me because the paint and supplies cost me almost $100 plus the labor to paint it, plus I got overspray everywhere. So word of advice, just pay the extra $200 for the company to powder coat it for you, and then try to go for a local place and just do a local pickup and save about $200 from shipping. I like how it's tucked cleanly and it's angled up slightly, so it gives me actually more clearance than a zero angled slider. I'm happy with the installation and the quality of the rock sliders. Bay Area Meta Fab is a legit company that builds pretty crazy strong armor, and they're local, so it was convenient for me to pick it up. Now these are different than side steps because side step just allows you to step on it, but these are rock sliders, so it prevents the rocks from hitting the bottom of your door or damaging this part of your truck. So it gives you protection from the rocks when you go off-roading, and it kind of serves as a step as well. So looking forward to trying this out in the next few weeks. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.